In this video, I'm going to show you how to make floating text like this in Unity. What's up YouTube? John here. So to start things off, I created a scene with a basic plane. I threw in this footman character that we're going to associate the floating text with. And by the way, you can get this 3D character from the Unity Asset Store. You just type in RTS in the search bar, and as of this recording, it's free. We're going to start off with creating a world space canvas, which allows your user interface to be in 3D space. So at this point, we'll click, go to UI, we're going to go to Canvas. I'm going to call this world space canvas. I want to change from overlay to world space, and then I want to drag my camera to this event camera property. Okay. Now that I have my world space canvas, I want to start creating the script file that we're going to associate the floating text with. So we're going to go to create up here and C# script, call it floating text. Alright, let me open it up in Visual Studio. Alright, so to start things off, we're going to write a couple variables here. We're going to start with the transform of the main camera. And then we also want to do a transform of the unit we want to associate this with. We're going to do a transform of the world space canvas. And then we're going to create a public vector 3 for the offset. Alright, so now that we have our references, we're going to set them in the start function. So main camera equals camera.main.transform. And the reason we want to reference the camera is because we want the floating text to always face the camera. And then the reason we want to reference the unit is because we want the floating text to move with the unit. So unit will equal transform.parent, and I'll show you this why we want to make it transform.parent. And then the world space canvas will be game object, find object of type. So what we're doing here, since we only have one canvas in the scene, I'm just going to find the object, the canvas object itself. And then the transform itself. Alright, so that'll set it all to start, and then in order for the floating text to be shown, it needs to be on the canvas itself. So we're just going to parent it to the canvas. Alright. Okay, so now that we have our variables set and we have the correct beginnings of our script, in the update function, what we want it to do is always face the camera and always follow the player's position. So to do that, we're going to set the transform equal to the quaternion look rotation. And it has to be, you have to do the opposite. So we'll start with the floating text position minus the camera's position. So this will always look at the camera. And then we want to make sure that the position of the floating text always moves with the unit. And then we want to add the offset. Alright. Okay, so now that we have our floating text script, what we're going to do is we're going to create the 3D text. So we're just going to go to UI text, and I'm just going to call this, let's call this William, person's name. We'll leave these defaults for now. And one thing you'll notice is the world space canvas is huge compared to the regular scene. So we want to reduce this dramatically. So I'm going to set it to about 100 by 100. And if I double click the world space canvas again, you'll notice it's actually nowhere near the scene. So let me zero out the X and the Y. Double click this again, and now you'll see it kind of fits our level pretty good. And then with the text, you see it's nowhere near it as well, so let's zero out the X and the Y. And you'll notice the text is huge because it's in world space. So what we want to do is we want to increase the font size and decrease the scale so it looks crisper and it's not as, like right now it's really blurry. So a good font size I found is 50, so I'm going to change this to 50. And then I'm going to change this to 0.01 on the scale. And now if I double click this, it's right above the character. And I think, and the reason we don't see it is we want to make the width and the height larger on the rect transform as well. So let's just do 200 by 200, 150. And I'm going to center these. And so this is what it's going to look like on our canvas. In order for the script to work, though, what we want to do is attach floating text script to the the text, and then we want to drag this text to the character itself. Hit play, and you'll notice that it's way too low. It's like on his feet. So at that point, it's because we have to adjust the offset. So if you adjust it to 2, it'll be right above the character. So let's change the offset to 2. And then let's give this an outline so it's easier to see. And let's change this to bold and make the color of the text white. So now it's going to look a little better. If I drag it here, you'll see that's the end result. So let's drag it back to our footman, hit play, and now it shows up right above the unit. Pretty cool, huh? So at this point, if I drag the unit around, you'll see that the text follows it. And then also, if I move the camera around, let me grab this and rotate it. So I'll rotate it like this, and then I'll move the camera. You'll notice that the text moves with the camera, so it's always facing it. And just to show you what it looks like with a lot of footmen at once, if I hit Control D and duplicate all these units, and then I'm going to drag them around, do one here, here, and I hit play. Now you'll have all these cool floating text above the units. And let me move the camera again. Oop. And there you go. You see it following the camera. Alright, and there you go. That's floating text in Unity. Thank you again for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments, comment down below. And if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. And thanks again for watching. Have a good one.